You've felt it before. That strange pull in your chest when the same painful pattern shows up again. Different face, same wound. Different job, same rejection. Different year, same emptiness. And somewhere deep in your bones, you know this isn't random. You know there's something trying to speak through the repetition, something you keep missing. Most people call it bad luck. But what if every painful synchronicity in your life was actually a map? What if the universe has been leaving you breadcrumbs this whole time, and you've been too wounded to see them? The pattern started years ago. You keep meeting people who awaken the same ache in you, not because you're broken, but because something in you needs to be born, and it can only emerge through this specific kind of pain. You think you're failing the same test over and over, but you're not failing. You're being sculpted. Every rejection carries the same message you refuse to hear. Every betrayal highlights the same boundary you won't set. Every loss points to the same attachment you won't release. The universe isn't punishing you. It's performing surgery. And you keep reopening the wound because you don't understand what needs to be removed. You've been reading the signs backwards. That person who ghosted you after you opened your heart, they weren't meant to love you. They were meant to show you how you abandon yourself. That opportunity that crumbled right when you needed it most, it wasn't meant to save you. It was meant to reveal what you're really made of when no one's coming to rescue you. If you're still watching, you're already ahead of most, because most people spend their whole lives thinking pain is the enemy. But you're starting to suspect it might be the teacher. The synchronicities get louder when you're about to evolve. That's why your life feels like it's falling apart right before every breakthrough. The universe turns up the volume on your lessons when you're finally ready to hear them. Those repeating numbers you keep seeing, that's not coincidence. That's consciousness trying to wake you up. Those random conversations that perfectly address your private struggles, that's not small talk. That's the universe using other people's mouths to deliver your medicine. But here's what haunts you. You can feel the design, but you can't decode it. You know there's meaning in the chaos, but you can't grasp it. You're living inside a cosmic riddle that's using your own life as the metaphor, and the answer isn't in your head, it's in your willingness to be transformed by what you don't understand. The synchronicities aren't just external, they live in your body too. That tightness in your chest when you're about to meet someone significant. That inexplicable urge to take a different route home the day everything changes. That dream that warns you 3 nights before the betrayal. Your body knows the blueprint before your mind does. It recognizes the patterns in the field before your eyes can see them. You've been taught to trust logic over instinct. But synchronicity speaks through feeling first, understanding second. That's why you dismiss so many signs, because they arrive as sensations, not explanations. The universe doesn't send you detailed instructions. It sends you chills down your spine, sudden knowing in your gut, inexplicable pull towards certain people or places. Most people never think about this part, how the universe might be conspiring for you through what feels like conspiracy against you. There was a man who spent his life mapping these invisible patterns. Carl Jung called them synchronicities, meaningful coincidences that reveal the hidden order beneath chaos. He discovered that when inner and outer worlds align in impossible ways, it's not luck or delusion. It's the universe showing you your own unconscious through the mirror of external events. Jung understood something most people die without realizing. Your psyche doesn't end at your skin. It bleeds into reality, attracting experiences that match your inner state. Those people who trigger your deepest wounds, they're not random. They're messengers from your shadow. Those situations that force you to face what you've been avoiding, They're not punishment. They're initiation. Until you make the unconscious conscious, Jung wrote, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Every synchronicity is your unconscious becoming visible. Every meaningful coincidence is your soul's GPS system, recalculating the route to wholeness. But you keep interpreting the directions through the lens of your wounds instead of your potential. Coming up next, we go deeper, but it's not easy. Because once you see how synchronicity really works, you can't unsee it. The blueprint isn't linear. It's a spiral. You're not going in circles. You're ascending through the same themes at higher levels of consciousness. That's why similar situations keep appearing. Not because you're stuck, but because you're approaching mastery. Each loop teaches you something the previous loop couldn't, because you weren't ready to receive it. Jung called this individuation, the process of becoming who you truly are beneath all the masks. And synchronicity is the universe's way of guiding you through it. Those moments when inner and outer reality snap together like puzzle pieces, that's not magical thinking. That's the self, your deepest essence, orchestrating your becoming through the raw material of daily life. You're not imagining the connections, the song that randomly plays with the exact words you needed to hear, the book that falls off the shelf opened to the page that answers your question, the stranger who speaks your private truth back to you. These aren't projections of a desperate mind. They're confirmations that you're aligned with something larger than your ego's plans. But here's what Jung knew that most people miss. Synchronicity intensifies during psychological transformation. When you're between who you were and who you're becoming, reality itself becomes more fluid, more responsive to your inner state. That's why your most meaningful coincidences happen during your darkest nights. The universe speaks loudest when your ego is quietest. If you're still here, still listening, then you already know. Something in your life is trying to transform, and the synchronicities are its labor pains. The shadow work comes through the people who repel you. Notice who triggers your strongest reactions. They're carrying the disowned parts of yourself. The universe keeps sending you these mirrors until you recognize your own face in what you've been rejecting. That's why the same types keep appearing in your life. Not because you have bad taste or bad luck, but because you haven't integrated what they represent. Your dreams and your days are in conversation. Jung discovered that synchronicities often complete or answer dreams. That recurring nightmare, watch how its themes play out in your waking encounters. That powerful dream symbol, notice how it appears in unexpected places during crucial moments. Your unconscious is writing the script, and reality is performing it. The timing is never random. Jung noticed that synchronicities cluster around major life transitions: death, birth, love, loss, transformation. When your old self is dying and your new self is being born, reality becomes more permeable. The boundaries between inner and outer dissolve. That's why impossible coincidences happen most when you're breaking apart. The cracks are where the light gets in. The chaos is where the magic lives. You've been treating synchronicities like fortune cookies, hoping they'll tell you what to do. But they're not instructions. They're mirrors. They show you what's already moving in your depths. That person who appeared at exactly the right moment, they didn't come to save you. They came to show you the savior you've been carrying inside. That opportunity that vanished, it didn't come to secure you. It came to reveal your relationship with uncertainty. This next part is what changes everything, if you let it. Because once you understand how to read synchronicities, you realize you've been living inside a teaching story all along. The universe's blueprint for your growth isn't written in words. It's written in the language of meaningful suffering, unexpected grace, and impossible timing. Every synchronicity is a love letter from your future self, telling you which wounds to heal, which patterns to break, which parts of yourself to reclaim. You're not being tested. You're being initiated. You're not being punished. You're being prepared. And every meaningful coincidence is a breadcrumb leading you home to yourself. The question isn't whether the universe has a plan for you. The question is whether you're brave enough to follow it through the dark. Jung knew the secret. We don't become whole by ascending into light. We become whole by integrating our darkness. And synchronicity is the universe's way of showing us where our shadows hide. In the people we attract, the patterns we repeat, the coincidences we can't explain. So the next time life delivers the same lesson in a new costume, don't ask, why me? Ask, what am I being shown? The next time inner and outer worlds align in impossible ways, don't dismiss it as coincidence. Honor it as communication. The universe has been speaking to you in the only language that bypasses your defenses, the language of lived experience. Here's what most people die without understanding. The synchronicities don't stop when you're healed. They evolve when you're whole. Instead of showing you what needs fixing, they start showing you what wants creating. Instead of revealing wounds, they reveal possibilities. The universe doesn't stop speaking when you learn to listen. It starts saying different things. But you have to survive the initiation first. You have to let the synchronicities break you open before they can break you through. Every meaningful coincidence is asking you to die to who you think you are. Every impossible timing is inviting you to be born into who you're meant to become. And yes, it hurts. Evolution always does. Your pain has a purpose. Your patterns have a meaning. Your synchronicities have a message. And maybe, just maybe, what feels like chaos is actually the most intelligent design you've ever been part of. A design that's using your own life to wake you up to who you really are. The blueprint is written in your scars. The map is drawn in your mistakes. The treasure is buried in everything you've been trying to escape. What if you stopped running from the pattern and started dancing with it instead? What if this moment, right now, is exactly where you need to be?